I'm going to talk you through all these supplies and the techniques as we go through this tutorial. I am starting with Provence, which is like an aqua color. It's important when working with chalk paint, you always start with a moist paintbrush. Have a water bottle on hand, this way you'll use a lot less paint. My second color I'm going to be using is French linen, and I'm using separate palm chippy brushes for each of my color choices. I generally like to place my color design for my first coat, but if it's easier for you, you can always just put on a one color base coat and then graduate to blending. A must-have on my supply list, a good fresh cup of coffee. My third color for this design is En Fleur, which is like a brown. So as I mentioned at the beginning, I'm just placing my three color tones down into a design of where I'd like to see them on a piece. And for an added bonus, I wanted to show you how you can paint some glass just for added decor for around your house. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to paint this glass vase with some French linen, and we're going to let that dry and we'll come back to it. I'd like to create a really cool, authentic stone effect with this vase, but let's let this dry first. So for this particular design, what I would like to do is create something of an old world, ancient kind of look to it, something with a little bit of history. So by adding the French linen into the Provence, which is a taupe, kind of into this aqua color, it's going to soften it right out a little bit. And around all the edges and corners of this piece, I would really like to put it more into a more muted brown by using the French linen and the En Fleur brown. I generally add water every time I'm placing paint onto the piece. This way I have some playing time with the chalk paint. Because chalk paint is so thick, it dries really quickly. By constantly adding the water as I'm placing the paint and as I'm blending, this will help the blending process go a lot smoother. An important tip when you're blending, what I find is as the colors are coming together, try to lighten up with the way you're moving your brush strokes. Just get lighter and lighter, and you'll notice that the transition will start to become smoother and smoother. So I've placed 2 full coats of French linen, and now I just want to paint the bottom, so I'm going to flip it upside down and paint the bottom so you don't see that it was originally glass. And I'd like to add a stencil to this. And where I'm kind of going with what I'd like to create is to kind of give it a whole stone effect to this vase. And we'll come back to this after. I originally wanted to salvage some of the wood for this dresser and implement that in the design, but I sanded and sanded and sanded again to a point where I was just going to split the wood. So this is where chalk paint is a perfect option for a piece like this. So we've pretty much got our first coat on with the blending just with the water and chalk paint. And here's a quick aerial, but I'm actually going to show you an even easier way to blend with chalk paint. So I grabbed some Paris gray, which is a light gray, and some graphite, which is just black, and still using the Enfleur, I am literally just stabbing the paint on top of the stencil. So it's kind of like a dry brush, but it's really just stippling. So I want to stipple and dribble these colors all over the stencil and try and create this stone-like effect. And as soon as I'm done with that, I want to now try and go with some black wax. Because our original French linen coats were so thick, I want all that black wax to sit in the low points of the texture. You can use a cloth or a brush, whichever you have, and you really want to just get it right into the deep textures. And then you want to go back with some clear wax and wipe back all of the upper exterior layer, and this is going to give a nice aged, worn look. Now I want to show you the easiest and simplest way to blend with chalk paint. And we're going to use my Worcester Pro Wool, and we're going to use some General Finishes glazed clear glaze, as well as you can throw in a couple of drops of some extender into the glaze so you have ample working time, and a separate chippy brush. This technique I like to refer to as meshing, color meshing. And the first and most important rule is just putting clear glaze down first, then putting your chalk paint on top, then you're going to blend. Using the Worcester Pro Wool is so easy. You're literally tapping the paint together. All you're doing is a tap, tap, tap motion, and you're just kind of scattering. And what it's doing is picking up the paint and putting it down, and it's literally colliding the paint together. Always important to have a towel available so you can offload your paint and glaze as you continue. Think of the glaze as a moisturizer to the chalk paint, so it's not going to evaporate, and it's going to allow a really ample working time versus using the spraying and mist bottle and all of that kind of stuff. I had to introduce my Sphinx cat. He's such a sweetheart. I know some of you probably think he's a little weird looking, but he's not. He's so sweet. This technique is as easy as it looks. It's literally tap, 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 tap. Don't forget to offload, go back, keep tapping. Using this meshing applicator takes half the time for the blending work as a paintbrush does. So I decided to go ahead and put the exact same stencil onto the other side and mirror the stencil that I originally did, doing all the exact same steps, including the wax. I will show you some great close-ups in the sunlight of the vase completed a little later on. This is truly my most favorite way to blend, and I've blended chalk paints for years, and I can tell you that this is so easy and so smooth, and what an amazing time saver. As well as it's actually really fun. It's simple, it's not complicated, and it's so easy to correct, and I'm going to show you how you can do that as well. I always like to recycle the hardware, so I am using a metallic paint by Art Minds, and this color combo is kind of a rust patina and gold, so giving it a nice metal effect. So for the tabletop, I'm actually correcting. I've already meshed with using the meshing applicator, and I was happy, but I thought it still could be a little bit better. So I let the whole thing dry, and all I'm doing now is doing the exact same 3 important rules. Is apply your clear glaze first, then apply your paint, use your meshing applicator until you're completely content with your transition, and voila, that's it. That's how easy it is.
So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to clear wax this. Just any clear wax. I'm using the Annie-Salone, but you can use any clear wax of your choice. Same with any chalk paint colors. You can use any choice of any brand, any color pattern that you like. I'm just showing you an example for technique. I'm going to clear wax, and then I am going to go ahead and just very, very lightly I'm going to add just a little tiny bit of some dark wax to edges and corners using the dark. So it's important to clear wax first before you put any darker wax or a black wax, so that way if you need to manipulate it and take it away, or you don't want it at all, the clear wax protects and kind of acts as an eraser, so you just, it's gone.
If you want to see more on meshing or meshing applicator, I have a few other tutorials on my channel that you're welcome to head over to my playlist and look up for the blending with meshing technique for more inspiration and tips and tricks. For clear wax, it's always important to use a lint-free cloth or a cheesecloth, whichever you have or prefer. Since the entire piece has already been sealed with clear wax, and now I want to go ahead and put some dark wax around the edges and corners, and I'm just using a little wax brush that I have, but if you have or prefer to use a cloth, you can do that as well. The nice thing about the clear wax as the base is it's acting as kind of that seal protector between the paint and now the dark wax. So for any reason there's a little too much, or you kind of want to play around with where you want it and where you want to take it away, just grab a little bit more clear wax, give it a little wipe, and off she goes. So I'm really happy with how the glass vase turned out. It truly does look like stone. I have some photos of that I've taken in the direct sunlight, so definitely check those out. They're at the end.
If you like this tutorial, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave me a comment in the comment box below, as well as everything that I've used for the tutorials in the description box, which you can also find below. And don't forget to subscribe! We'll see you next week for another fun technique and tutorial, and I look forward to sharing it with you.